at any time that anybody wants to unmute their microphone, just to say congratulations or to clap, feel absolutely free to do that. As I said, we will be improvising as we go with today's events, but really what we want to do is honor our 4 spectacular graduates. This is their day, a day that I'll say they've been waiting for sure, at least for 7 years, and for many more before that. But it's a long trajectory. Just want to say a couple of words about the end of this year. Certainly, the whole COVID pandemic and has created a significant amount of changes in ways that we certainly could not predict. Going from going to the hospital, or people being sick and being worried that they had COVID and having to get tested, including one of our chief residents, as well as just everything in general, but not to say the least, this graduation. So graduation is something that we're always incredibly proud of, and we enjoy as a time for all of us to get together and celebrate. I always cherish every year getting to meet the families. It's odd that I have to wait till the end of the 7 years to meet the families, but at least that's a time that I do, and I enjoy meeting and seeing all of you here today. As we mentioned, we're at least in several states within North America, as well as Latin America. So at least this provides the opportunity for friends that otherwise wouldn't be able to come and join us to be here with us. So it's a special year for 4 special guys graduating, and today will certainly be a celebration of this. So clearly we want to honor Amir Faraji, Ben Susman, David Salvetti, and Ezequiel Goldschmidt in today's event, and this is what today is all about. I would like to acknowledge some of the people that are here with us. I know that there will be some that I don't have on my list, and obviously want to welcome everybody, but within the Amir Faraji family, Haleh Ibrahimi, his wife, I assume is back there somewhere. Haleh has really made sure that our whole faculty and residents, anybody that needs glasses, she's helped us out, and I was happy to hear that she's going to be at least 6 more months with us to help all of our needs. Amir's parents, Hamid and Pamela, and when I call people, maybe just I think that there's a lot of pictures up. If you're up, just say hello. Let's see, and then Haleh's parents, Amir's in-laws, Masoud Ibrahimi and Zareh Vaez Gaemi, welcome to the events today. And Amir's brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Ali Faraji and Mina Tabatabai. Welcome everybody from the Faraji family, and again, congratulations. From the Goldschmidt family, I know we have some additional people that I don't have in my list from joining us from South America. I heard Colombia and I heard Argentina as well. So Easy's mother, Vera Wasserman, his father is now with us, Rafael Goldschmidt, and his girlfriend, Elise Brisbane. Welcome everybody from the Goldschmidt family. Bienvenidos a todos. Fue un gran gusto entrenar a Ezequiel. A veces no fue fácil, como ustedes pueden entender, pero fue un gran honor para entrenarlo a él, una persona muy, muy especial. For the people who don't understand, I'm sorry I didn't say anything good about Easy. From the Salvetti family, Catherine Salvetti, welcome. You've been with us and always have a great smile and joining us in all of our events. It's been nice to always have you around, and we'll certainly miss you. David's parents, Tom and Nancy Salvetti, welcome. Again, been a pleasure to have David within our troops, and David's in-laws, Catherine's parents, Steve and Shelley Ryder, welcome for the events today. And from the Susman family, Amanda, again, always great to see you with all the kids and taking care of them and taking care of the big kid, Ben. It's always been nice to see you. Having your whole family in our trampoline in the backyard's always been fun to see all the kids. A great family that you guys have put together. Ben's parents, I want to welcome again Doctors Mel and Deborah Sussman, as well as in-laws Michael and Wendy Sternberg. Again, I know I'm missing a few people here, but I really want to welcome you, and your children. They know how much you've done for them. We know how grateful they are for all the sacrifices that you've made for them to get them to this point. These four individuals have absolute outstanding moral and ethic standards and work as hard as they can, take amazing care of their patients, and not only they're great physicians, but amazing people. And I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to train them for 7 years. It's been phenomenal. And every time we have four residents that leave, it's a little piece of us that goes away, but they go and really impart I think somebody is not muted, if they can mute, or again, if somebody wants to make comments or clap or anything like that. And let's try this once, and we'll see how it works. Everybody unmute themselves, and let's just give a round of applause for the families. Well, seems like this at least that worked out well. That's good. Now, a residency program, particularly a residency like the University of Pittsburgh, has a long history, and history can be interpreted in many different ways. In the way that I like to think of our history, it's like a pyramid in a way that we build upon prior accomplishments, and we go higher and higher with everything that we do. And I'd like to say a few words and really honor Dr. Dave Lunsford's commitment and everything that he's done for our department and for neurosurgery in general. Dr. Lunsford, as you all know, trained in Pittsburgh, first arrived to Pitt to train in 1975. So you can do the math. It's been quite a while. His commitment to the University of Pittsburgh, stayed on the faculty here after spending a year in Sweden, learning things from Lars Lexell and Gamma Knife, and bringing the first Gamma Knife into North America. He was a chairman of our department from 97 to 2006. But the particular reason I'm making all those comments is we're making a transition of him being the program director. He's been program director for 33 years within our institution, and that's quite a while. A lot of our residents, maybe they're not even 33 years old. Doing anything for 33 years takes an amazing commitment, and really we are the department that we are in many ways because of everything that Dr. Lunsford has done. He's been a close friend and ally of mine. This month I've been here a decade. I've been here 10 years in Pittsburgh, and many times I've asked for his help and assistance, and I always trust what he does for me and for the department. I know the residents are truly indebted for him for many reasons. So Dave, thank you for your service. Your service is certainly not over, but we're transitioning the program directorship to Dr. Sakula, and he'll say a few words as well. And what I'd like to, again, thank you on behalf of myself personally, the department, the many residents that you've trained and are still training, and very, very importantly, for everything that you've done for neurosurgery and your patients, both the ones that you've treated as well as the ones that people that you've taught have treated. So that's quite a large number of people. So Dave, if you want to say a few words to our graduates and anything else, take it away.
Thank you, Robert. As always, this is a great event. For them, it's their first graduation, but this is my 45th graduation that I've been to. It's been an amazing run for so many years at the same place. I'm gonna see if I can share the message that I have for the residents, if I can get this to work. Can you see that?
We see you.
You see me. Melissa is going to screw this up for me. I know, I'm just kidding. So the message I'm going to give to them really comes down to a very simple thing. Are you still there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so to all the residents, and especially the 4 graduating chiefs, I want to remind you that 40 years ago, I was in this exact same boat. Finally beginning your life's work after really 32 years of preparation on your part, as well as your and your family's help. I hope you and your wives and family will take a few days to simply digest what you have done. 40 years from now, I hope you, as I do, will look back over these decades and marvel at what you can do, whom you have helped, and perhaps a few whom you did not. Each of you have unique abilities, personalities, and skills. As you enter practice, remember that you are a medical professional blessed with extraordinary intellect and knowledge. Make every patient an avatar of your father, mother, brother, or sister, and recommend and carry out only those strategies that you would want your loved one to have, based on the moral code your family instilled and the current knowledge you have mastered. This year, after 34 years, I am passing the baton on of residency director to Ray Sakula, who is poised and ready for the challenges. I do remain in the game, and I'm happy to assist all residents that will be remaining, and to help Ray and, of course, our fairy godmother, Melissa Lucart, because she's the one who made this job not only possible, but very often pleasurable. And to Ray, just know that her knowledge, her can-do personality, and her humor will be your greatest resource. To the wives and families, thank you for your gift to us and to their future patients. And like my wife of almost 50 years, you will strive to love and tolerate them despite their hours and their insane future commitment. My best to every one of the graduating residents and to all their families. Thanks for letting me be a part of your life.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lunsford. And maybe we can all unmute ourselves and really give Dr. Lunsford a hand of applause, really to demonstrate. So, Dave,
thank you all.
Thank you. We're all counting on you doing much of this for many more years to come with us and to remain obviously part of the department. We know you're not going anywhere, and we're counting on you. I'd like to ask and introduce Dr. Sakula, our incoming program director, to say a couple of words.
Thank you, Dr. Friedlander, and thank you for the well wishes, Dr. Lunsford. You've graciously and generously given 34 years of service to guiding well over 100 residents and fellows become accomplished neurosurgeons, and I look forward to this new challenge. I know I'm stepping into the largest of shoes, but I hope to lead our 28 residents in a thoughtful manner alongside you as long as you're willing to help. Tonight, however, I want to talk about 4 young men, all of unique backgrounds, who have met who each have met the challenges of neurosurgical training with really great aplomb. Amir, you're a sensitive individual of great intellect, and you've become an outstanding neurosurgeon with advanced expertise in epilepsy.
Ray, I don't know if you can hear us, but your voice is...
And movement disorder.
Ray, I don't know if you can hear me. Your Wi-Fi is maybe your voice is cutting in and out. Oh, maybe he's... I hope I did not insult him. Maybe he's logging in and out. Give him a couple of seconds. If not, he might be trying to log in and out. So why don't I continue with some comments, and I'm sure Dr. Sakula will join again.
I'm back, Robert. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what happened there.
Okay, I think we can hear you. You were saying some really, really nice things about Amir, and then you got cut off.
You're fired.
Ben, you're the Larry Bird of Pitt Neurosurgery. Never forget your advice regarding surgical perfection. You've become an outstanding brain and spine surgeon with particular expertise in endovascular surgery. I know that you too will help countless patients in the South, and I'll also really miss you. David, always calm and cool. You've also attained so much during your time here. Although your focus in the past few years has been in the spine, I can share with everyone here that you're a gifted brain surgeon as well. I will not be surprised to see you become a top surgeon in the state of Virginia, and I'll miss you as well. Finally, Ezekiel, congratulations on your Van Wagenen Fellowship, the top prize for neurosurgical graduates. You'll make us proud in the coming years. You've also become an outstanding brain and spine surgeon, and I will really miss you and your enthusiasm for this field. And I just thank all of the families for their support and what they put into developing these young men over the last 30-some years.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Sakula. And I guess we can unmute ourselves and get another round of applause here. Really fine words, Ray. I'm really looking forward to your involvement as our incoming program director. I guess won't be incoming anymore. It'll be program director as of a couple of weeks from now. I know that you'll put your style, your decency, and your care of your patients that you've imparted to all of our residents. You're a great teacher and great surgeon, and proud to have you as my program director. So again, looking forward to all these years to come. I'd like to usually make a few comments on the notable events of this past year. Most things are good. One is less good. So, I want to acknowledge that Eddie Monaco will be leaving us as of this coming month. Eddie trained here at the University of Pittsburgh, and given all his capabilities from A through Z as a person, as a teacher, as a human being, as a surgeon, and a neurosurgeon in specific. Obviously, really nothing was too hard or too difficult or too little to ask from him. Eddie, you've done great. Sorry to see you go. I know that we'll be hearing from you, and maybe if you're, I think you're on the call, so I think I see your name. If you want to say a word or two.
Sure. I apologize that I'm not wearing a tuxedo as well, but everything is in the moving truck. It has been truly a pleasure to train and to work with everyone. And I would just say briefly, congratulations to the 4 chiefs. You guys should really be proud of yourselves. And I thank you greatly for the care that you provided to my patients. And if you're ever out my way in central Pennsylvania, please feel free to stop by. So thank you for everything, Robert and Dave and Ray and all the faculty and the residents. Thank you.
So, Eddie, you, don't log off yet. There's one thing that you promised me that you did not accomplish during your time here. So as you can tell, I have a clip-on bow tie. You're going to teach me how to tie a bow tie. So if you're around for the next day or two, I mean, we still got to do that.
Okay, well, I'll give it a go.
I also want to acknowledge that I see that Diane Bruni's on the call. Diane, also after many years of service to UPMC in general, but in particular to me and to the department over the past 8 years, has decided to retire. So Diane, I see that you're on the call, and thank you for everything that you've done. And I know a lot of the people in the faculty and residents really care about you and know how great you're thinking of everybody. So again, maybe a hand of applause to Diane. So moving on, I'd like to acknowledge another, these are positive, or I guess retirement is positive as well. Positive and happy events. We had the engagement of Nitin Agarwal and Preeta Kamat. So congratulations to you both. We've had a productive year with many marriages, 3 marriages. Matt Pease and Kyla Joubert, congratulations. Arka Malela and Ali Martinson. And Enya Nwachukwu and Brittany Nwachukwu. So again, congratulations and welcome the 3 of you in particular to our neurosurgical family. So congratulations. Let's see, promotions. I really proud that Paul Gardner was promoted not only to professor this year, but he will be the holder of the Peter J. Janetta Endowed Chair in Neurosurgery. Obviously a tremendous but very befitting honor for Paul. So Paul, congratulations on this wonderful accomplishment. And again, look forward to working together with you for many years to come, as well as to really see many of your accomplishments going forward. Now, moving on, we're not only graduating our residents, but also want to acknowledge 3 fellows that are graduating this year. Of note are enfolded fellows. We often also honor them during this event, but we'll honor our enfolded fellows next year during in-person graduation. But of our external fellows, I'd like to ask Paul Gardner to make some comments about his fellow. Paul, if you're there, you might be muted.
I am just unmuting and turning video on. Hopefully you guys can see me.
We can see you. Well, we can hear you. Can't see you. I'm not sure.
He doesn't have. Yeah, maybe it's better that way. I don't know. But as long as you can hear me, thank you for the very kind words about the professorship. That's a tremendous honor for me, and I want to thank my current fellow this year who's finishing is Pierre-Olivier Champagne. As his name fits, he has been a very elegant contribution to our program throughout this year. He really embodies something that Joe Maroon taught me, which is the 3 A's, which is affable, available, and always able. And Pierre certainly has all of those characteristics, and I know he's going to take that with him back to Canada, where he's going to, I'm certain, change his program dramatically for the better. So thank you, Pierre, for everything this year, and you really, I think, embody everything that an academic neurosurgeon should be, and you'll provide a lot for us for the entire world of skull base going forward. I also want to congratulate the outgoing chiefs and echo everything that Ray said. I think you did a very nice job of describing the attributes, and just remember, you carry forward the Pitt reputation for all of us, and that will take both you and our program even farther in the future. So thank you all very much.
Very, very nice. Thank you, Paul. Pierre, if you're on there, if you want to say a comment or two, that'd be fine.
Of course, I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Gunner, for everything, for this amazing year. Everything was above and beyond any expectation I could have, and also I think today is mostly the days of the 4 chiefs. I had the chance to collaborate with all 4, and thank you guys for having me, for working with me. It's been really a pleasure, and all the residents of Pittsburgh and everybody, thank you for having me for this wonderful year that definitely will shape in a very positive way the rest of my career. So thank you everyone that I've worked with during the past year. It was very a wonderful year. Thanks.
Thank you, Pierre, and congratulations. And let's see, David Okonkwo is going to say a few words about his Spine Fellow. David, are you on? And you might be muted. Let me see.
Jacob.
David, if you're on, I thought you were on, but can barely hear you. Okay, it doesn't sound like. David, try again. We can barely hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little better.
Is that better?
That's a lot better.
Okay. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Want to congratulate Jacob Joseph on an outstanding year as our Spine Fellow on behalf of myself and the other Spine faculty. We had a chance to acknowledge your year earlier, Jacob, and I just want to echo that from all of us, we appreciate all of your hard work, and it's been really a pleasure watching you grow both in skill and on the decision-making side of things in a way that will serve your patients extraordinarily well in the future. We've talked that you represent a real transition point in the history of our fellowship where the competition became very fierce, and you were really the first one of that line of fierce competition pursuing our fellowship. And so we again thank you for the chance you took on us early in your residency to make that commitment to come to Pittsburgh, and you fulfilled the expectation, and we wish you the very best. And as your career gets started at the University of Michigan, we'll always be here to lend a hand to anything you need to achieve your greatest success. And then to the 4 folks who are finishing, just to echo everybody else's words, you guys have been awesome, and I hope lifelong relationship. Thank you for everything that you guys have done as well.
All right, thank you, David. Jacob, if you're on, you want to say a couple of words?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone, Dr. Okonkwo, Dr. Cantor, et al., about this great year of fellowship, and I really wanted to thank all 4 chiefs who had a chance to work with all 4 of you pretty extensively, and you guys helped me get through this year, and it was really an honor to be able to work with all of you.
All right, thank you. And I'd like to invite Ian Pollack to say a few words about Kelly Collins.
Yeah, Kelly is a Pittsburgh native who did her undergraduate at CMU and then medical school at Michigan, and then her residency training at University of Washington, where she was a standout both from a clinical and academic perspective, having a first author paper in PNAS on neural prosthetics. And since joining her program, she has lived up to her high recommendations. She's had superb clinical judgment, has proven herself to be pretty much unflappable both in the OR and in the clinic. She has also shown herself to be a technically gifted neurosurgeon, one of the most skilled fellows that I've had the privilege to train. And she's also been a great teacher of the residents, and I've gotten nothing but positive feedback from the PGY 2s and 4s who spent time at Children's. She's also demonstrated remarkable efficiency both in the OR and the hospital. Despite the coronavirus slowdown, she'll probably have in the top 10 to 20% of case volume for our finishing fellows, and will hit all the targets that we have in pediatric neurosurgery for our graduating fellows. This is particularly impressive since she has 2 young daughters, and she somehow manages to balance work and a home life, and she makes it look easy, yeah, even though that I know it's not. She'll soon be starting a faculty job at OHSU, and I expect she'll make major contributions to the field, both from a clinical and academic perspective. Finally, congratulations are in order since she just passed the American Board of Pediatric Neurosurgery written exam. So this is probably her last standardized test that she'll ever have to take. And so in summary, I just want to thank Kelly for a great year. I'll miss working with her, and I want to wish her continued success in the years ahead.
Thank you, Ian. Very nice. Kelly, would you like to say a few words? Kelly, I thought you were there. You might be muted. So can't hear you if you're there. I thought I saw her name, but okay. Well, congratulations, Kelly, on your on the boards and finishing the fellowship. So let's move on. And obviously, for these 4 individuals to leave, we need to have 4 individuals coming in. Otherwise, they'd have to stay. And we're extremely fortunate to see this wonderful pipeline of amazing residents continue. So I'd like to introduce our incoming 4 interns. Pratik Agarwal, if you recognize the last name, you know why. Obviously, he's Nitin's brother. I want to welcome you. Pratik did his undergraduate at Harvard University and has done his medical school at the University of Pennsylvania, while at the same time doing an MBA at the Wharton School. So Pratik, if there, thanks for turning your microphone, your video on. Welcome to the family. Next, Jeffrey Head, who did his undergraduate at Colgate and medical school at Jefferson. Welcome, Jeffrey. If you're there, I want to turn on your video just for a second. Okay. Moving on. Okay, there you are. Hi, Jeffrey. Great to see you. Okay. Next, Rachel Jacobs, that we've known for quite some time. She's one of our own terrific medical students. Rachel did her undergraduate at the Emory and medical school here at Pitt. We've known her for a great number of years. So welcome, Rachel. If you're on, turn your video on. There we go. Hi, Rachel. Welcome. And next, David McCarthy, who did his has been in Florida his whole career. Undergraduate at University of Florida, graduate school at the University of Miami, doing some really fantastic work, and then medical school at the University of Miami as well. So, David, welcome. And if you're there, turn your video on so people see that you're a real person. There we go. Welcome, David. So again, so for the 4 of you, welcome. This is what you have to look for 7 years from now. Hopefully we'll have a vaccine for Corona by then, and we'll be able to have a graduation in person. Now, one of the things that we always treasure within our residents and faculty are the resident teaching and faculty teaching awards. These are really coveted recognitions because are provided by our peers. So the resident teaching award is voted on the faculty side as well, and the faculty teaching awards voted on the resident side. So I am really delighted to announce that the winner of this year's resident teaching award is Dr. Benjamin Susman. So Ben, congratulations on this really befitting homage to everything that you've done. I mean, I know from day one, essentially, that you joined our residency, that you were very interested in teaching. You set up the microsurgery lab on your own, obviously with help from the department, but this is something that you pushed. It's a legacy that'll persist going on, and you've set up web sites with teaching vascular cases, and I know that teaching is part of you, and I know that somehow you'll find a way to continue this passion of yours. So congratulations on the teaching award.
Go Ben!
And the faculty teaching award, again, really a coveted recognition from the residents. Really, it's an amazing honor when we are recognized by the people that we teach. And being a teacher, and being a teacher of neurosurgery, it's something that it's well, if people could mute their microphones, unless obviously there's a comment that people want to make. Being a teacher in the neurosurgery is something that really comes from within. It's not something that you learn in school, but it's really an aptitude to go and really provide the people that you're teaching the time, your heart, and your brain. And I'm delighted to announce that this year's winner of the Faculty Teaching Award is Kojo Hamilton. So Kojo, congratulations really on this fantastic honor. Kojo, if you can see.
Oh, good.
I'm trying.
We want to see your great smile there. Congratulations, Kojo. Really well deserved. Very proud of everything.
Deserved.
Thank you for the residents of the department.
Here I come.
All right, so now we're getting to really the meat of the event, the reason that we're here all together today. What we will do is, again, usually I say a few words about each one of the residents, and then each one of the chief residents selected one of their junior residents to say a few words about them. So we'll start. We'll do it in alphabetical order. First of all, Amir Faraji. Amir, I've known you for as long as I've been here at the University of Pittsburgh, which as of this month is 10 years, a decade. Wow, seems like a long time, but you've been around for a lot of that time. I've always been impressed by your mental abilities. You always have a way of seeing things and seeing beyond the obvious and finding ways of really accomplishing goals that you've designed for yourself. A really phenomenal training during the training that you've been here with us at Pitt, but also afterwards, enhancing your training with doing some additional peripheral nerve. And really, it's a wonderful combination of traits that you'll be treating. Importantly, I really am eager and can't wait to see everything that you will do in neurosurgery. I know that you'll be joining your brother and family in Houston, and will be amazing to see what you'll continue to do and what you'll follow. Very proud of what you've become. Is really the great individual and great soul that you are. So Amir, congratulations. Toast to everything that you've done and going future, and to your family. And I really wish you all the best. All right, and Ted Andrews is going to say a few words about Amir. Ted, are you there?
Maybe. Yeah. I'm totally wearing pants.
I'm glad to hear.
All right. So, evening, everyone. My name is Ted. I'm one of the PGY 4 residents. I have the distinct honor of toasting my dear friend, Amir Faraji, one of our phenomenal outgoing chiefs. Amir, I haven't seen you in months. Thus, it saddens me that we are reunited on this most celebratory of occasions to say goodbye. You have been a big brother to me in this program, as I'm sure many of us here tonight feel as well, helping us grow into better residents and better doctors on the whole. A rare few of us wouldn't even physically be here if it weren't for you and your compassion, and particularly your lovely wife, Hela's cooking and hosting us over. There's a certain one of us who has a penchant for all things Turkish that I'm sure would be dead if we're not for the lamb meals. As you face the next step in your career, I have no doubt you will succeed as you have here. I look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you'll contribute to the field of neurosurgery, and I look forward to many future years of our friendship. I certainly will be visiting you in Houston, so please keep a light on for me. In the words of one of your biggest admirers, and who I like to call your work wife at the University of Pittsburgh, Rosa wanted me to share this with you. Amir, 0101 0101101101 22222222. You will be missed. And thank you for everything, my dear friend. Congratulations.
All right, Amir, the podium is yours. Virtual podium, I guess.
Thank you, Ted. I knew you didn't have any material to roast me with, so that's perfect. I have been looking forward to this day my whole life. I certainly know my family and friends feel the same way. I never envisioned that this day would be in my own house, my own living room, wearing a tuxedo, staring out my own window and speaking over a video feed to people who I love, mentors who I admire, colleagues who I care about, and friends who I will miss. Isn't there supposed to be a sheet cake or a 4-course meal? I guess not this year. So far, this has been a year of terrible losses. People have lost their lives. Families are still grieving. Others have lost their jobs, their savings, their plans for the future. Many of us have even suffered some of these things. And despite all of this, we remain thankful for the blessings, which we should not take for granted. We are lucky to be part of a profession that provides so much hope and healing to our patients. We have all studied, we've toiled, and we've persevered in different ways. Neurosurgery is hard, but it is rewarding. It might seem frivolous to feel sad about losing your graduation ceremony, but I don't think so. Graduations from residency are a big deal. It's important. We want the day to be distinct, unmistakable, linked to countless traditions beforehand and ceremonies of the past. This day and this year, with everything happening in this world, I challenge anyone to say that this is not a unique year, and 2020 is special. And this graduation ceremony is different because our world is different accordingly, and history has found us. I found myself in a defining moment during the first month of college. I remember watching the Twin Towers collapse in 2001, just before my chemistry lab. I was in shock. I remember standing in front of my 300 classmates in my European history class as a freshman, defending my own religion and distancing it from the terrorist attacks that happened on September 11th. Imagine spending the next 20 years, let alone your lifetime in some instances, in the shadow of that event and all the biases that it subsequently created. Would I get a medical school interview? Would a journal publish my research? Would I get into residency? Would others perceive me as a competent neurosurgeon? Would I get a job? All of these are routine questions that we all face as professionals, but imagine the additional stress just because my name is Amir Hossein Faraji and I am a Muslim. In this current sociological and geopolitical moment, people want equal opportunity and mutual respect, and I've been fortunate enough to be part of this department for a long time. I have seen it grow, change, mature, and improve. We continue to improve, and the diversity of Pitt Neurosurgery provided me a home away from home and an extended family. It is bittersweet to leave this family that has given me such an unimaginable opportunity. Thank you all for a grueling 7 tough, instructive, informative years. Thank you for being part of my extended family, and thank you for molding me into a neurosurgeon. Our faculty teach residents, and their reward is seeing how we will advance to the future and change neurosurgery. Dr. Friedlander has been my boss, my mentor, and a role model over the past 10 years, and I'm eternally grateful. As was said, Dr. Lunsford epitomizes everything I want to accomplish professionally and personally. He is gracious, thoughtful, brilliant, and has been my neurosurgical father from the start. Many other faculty, and in particular Dr. Sakula, Wecht, Gersten, Musi, Gardner, Hamilton, Okonkwo, Monaco, they've all remained a constant through my time in residency, and operating with them has taught me more than they can know about patient care and about being a good doctor. Junior residency is difficult, and I certainly was not perfect. Dr. Abla was instrumental in restoring my self-confidence and likely my graduation today. When you find a mentor that cares about you, my advice is that you should show them how much they mean to you. Dr. Richardson and Dr. Gonzalez-Martinez are exceptional surgeons and humans, and they care about their patients and myself, and they care about me. They vested their wisdom and experience in me, and my career as a functional neurosurgeon is only possible because of their mentorship and friendship. Graduations are about family. These events are as much about your cheering parents and grandparents and siblings as it is your mentors and teachers. It's important to not forget their sacrifices also. This is a day that is a celebration and means that their sacrifices were also worth it. Each of our families, I know, and especially my own, have sacrificed over the course of the past 7 years, and I owe them everything because of it, and I'm lucky to be surrounded by them today. I have been home for almost 20 years to build myself up, educate myself, set myself in a position where I would be successful. A day has passed where I don't think of my family. If your home is where your heart is, then my heart has always been with them, and it will always be so. My parents, Hamid and Pamela, have been waiting for this day for 37 years. My father came to this country with a half-filled suitcase from Iran. He moved halfway across the world to build a new life and a new family and seek an education. And along the way, he met my mother, who spent her entire life as a school teacher in education. She was even my own teacher in middle school. My parents' sole focus in life was to give me and my brother, Ali, an opportunity and every opportunity that was possible. I don't think this can be simply chalked up to a cultural trait. I really do have exceptional, generous, and patient parents. I also have an exceptional brother. He is one of the reasons I'm moving to Houston, and having him by my side again with his own amazing wife, Mina, and my nephews will give me all the joy and personal satisfaction needed as I build a busy neurosurgical practice. Our family will finally be together again after 20 years apart. Many of you know my wife, Hala. She's a faculty optometrist here at UPMC, and it's probably the reason that half our department can see and our complication rates remain reasonable. But she's also a person who sees me for me and loves me regardless of how stressed or tired I may be. This residency has been a training program for her too. She sees the satisfaction on my face when the surgery goes well, and she sees me upset when it doesn't. She's a master of consolation and comforting. She is a perfect mother of my son, Ali Jahan, and is a caring wife. She puts me first, is the consummate partner, and I'm certain I would not be unable to survive the past 7 years without her. Marrying was the best thing I've ever done. Graduations are also about new horizons in the future. New chiefs have taken over. Residents look forward to the new responsibilities, and they will work tirelessly, sometimes without appreciation. Residents have to see that light at the end of the tunnel, and that their own sacrifices and hard work will lead them to their own graduations. And so this day is special. They must have examples of a moral compass to guide them in their clinical decisions. Whatever successes I've had were due to a combination of perseverance. Whatever successes I've had were due to a combination of perseverance, stubbornness, and exceptional colleagues in the trenches with me. To my fellow residents, I am confident that your successes will far exceed my own, and I'm excited to see how you will practice neurosurgery and live your lives. I've been looking forward to this day my whole life. This is the day when I can show my friends and family why I have been neglectful, why I have missed events, why I would fall asleep during phone calls, or why my bedtime was earlier than my own son's. This is the day when Ben, Ezekiel, and David, and myself, we move on to start our careers as neurosurgeons. We celebrate our similarities and differences, and our class is stronger because of them. Graduations are a big deal, and these three guys will always be my brothers, and I'm appreciative to them. I will not forget my residency experience, and as I leave Pittsburgh with immense appreciation and gratitude, and the idealistic hope for a successful and thoughtful neurosurgical practice, where I can live happily ever after with my family, and I will never forget the countless people and God who helped me along the way to achieve my dreams. Thank you to everyone.
All right, very nice put, Amir. Congratulations again. Next, I'd like to say a few words about Ezequiel Goldschmidt. Easy, I assume you're there somewhere. Hopefully turn on your
Yes,
your
we're here.
There you go. So Easy, you're different. You're very different than most people. And as I mentioned before, when we first met and you walked into my office and you were telling me about all your crazy ideas, I just thought this guy was totally nuts and crazy. And after all these years, I still believe that you're totally nuts and crazy, but crazy in the way that you will accomplish things. I know that you will make a difference. It's been a lot of fun having you next to me and during interesting cases. Speaking Spanish, I see David there next to you. At least I could speak Spanish with David as well. And you've done really an amazing job. I really looking forward to see all the really cool things that you're going to do in neurosurgery and in neurosciences in general. Just keep going. You always have your head up high, but just keep doing that and move forward. Keep making a difference. Take care of each patient one at a time, as you do. Very proud that you're one of our graduates, and really congratulations. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the amazing things that I expect and we all expect from you. I know that Nima's right next to you, so he'll be saying a few words.
Wonderful. So just back to Ted. Ted roast Amir, give him a toast. But I'm gonna give it a shot here. Ezekiel asked me a year ago. Can you guys hear me?
There's a lot of echo, so people can mute their microphones, but I think it's fine now. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Is it good?
I'm speaking from Argentina. Could you please speak slowly, because we are translating into Spanish for some of our folks over here.
Yes, of course.
Don't rush.
I also don't speak first language.
Well, you know what? Since I don't have this opportunity often, let me just repeat what I said about easy in Spanish.
Well, that I have already translated.
You translated mine already?
Yes.
Yeah, she's a professional translator, Dr. Friedlander, so we're good.
Okay, Nima, speak slowly.
Yeah, no problem. I also speak English as a second language, so I can definitely accommodate. So Ezekiel asked me a year ago to roast him right after I roasted Steve Johnson. And it's funny because I wrote that roast for Steve in literally 15 minutes. It took me 15 minutes the day of to do that. And this one, it took me a year to write. A roast for Ezekiel, the perfect resident. The perfect resident, people say. And I'm here to debunk that myth. First of all, congratulations, Ezekiel. What are you now? PGY 13, 14? As Dr. Lunsford says, this is a 7-year program, but not everyone finishes it in 7. It's true, you finished in 5, but good job. You're going to be 38 by the time you start as an attending. That's good, real accomplishment there. By the time Dr. Gardner was 38, he was an endowed professor. Right, Dr. Gardner, you turned 38 yesterday? Or I get it, though. Immigration is time-consuming. You got an MD, PhD, then a residency in Argentina, residency here. In fact, I'm going to be 38 too when I'm attending. I was busy collecting passports around the world while you were getting your degrees. But what we have one thing in common for our permanent residency application to the United States. We both applied for a green card within a week of each other. Don't look at the rules. He's cheating and he's looking ahead. I got mine in 6 months, maybe 9 months, but no issues. It just went through smoothly. And for those who don't know, this is about your research potential. It's not about being a neurosurgeon. It's not about being from Pitt or anything like that. They want to know, do you have a potential in research and whether you're going to keep doing that? So Trump thought that I could do this. In 6 months, they gave me my permanent resident card. And Ezekiel, 1 year later, got a letter from Trump that said that it was more evidence that you have research potential. So there goes his research accolades. Now, Ezekiel, the teacher. I asked him once in the Dr. Gerson case to show me how to harvest bone marrow. I hope you remember this. I don't. You don't? And he just grabbed the needle out of my hand and then just pointed it laterally, and I just looked at him like, he's like, "Are you sure?" And and in a classic skull-based fashion, sometimes wrong, never in doubt. He said, "Yes, of course." And I literally had to put my hand on his hand. I said, "Easy, you're pointing towards the head." Oh, I remember that. So there goes the anatomist. Now Ezekiel, the original spine surgeon. He used spine surgery as a cover to get to skull base, the same way I use Canada as a cover to get to US. Anybody who knows me for a second knows that I'm never going to stay in Canada. And anybody who knows Ezekiel knows that he was never going to be a spine surgeon. Not true. Once he heard the siren call of Dr. Gardner's fellowship in skull base, his boat capsized, and he could not touch the spine with a 10-foot pole. At the end, he started bullying Dr. Gerson in the room. Getting him to position his own patients, not letting him scrubbing in his case. Dr. Gerson's such a patient man. Anyway, Ezekiel is not a perfect researcher, teacher, or surgeon. He knows that. And while this was supposed to be a roast for Ezekiel, this is also a tribute. It's a tribute to a perfect mentor and a perfect friend. His presence here in this residency made my life much more pleasant. I remember asking once when I was a PGY2 how to be a better resident. And in a classic Ezekiel fashion, like a Zen master, he pointed to a plant and he said, "Be like the plant. Don't say anything, always be there." I fell way short of that mark, but I always followed his advice when I get into trouble. And he is a perfect example of that. Doesn't say anything, always there. I cannot tell you how hard it was for me to write this roast, because every time I started it, I was just overwhelmed with sadness. That such a dear, close friend is leaving my side. I'm going to miss Easy, but I'm happy for you that you're moving on to better things, to Sweden and then San Francisco. Happy for you.
Take it away.
Okay, so this says graduation speech, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 6/14/2020, and it goes like this. I wanted to, and I really tried but failed again and again, to write something resembling a graduation speech. While failing to do so, some clarity knocked at the door of my now empty apartment. For the weirdness of this text and for mine, I apologize. This evening, today, and my whole life is and has been about honoring my father. Because this is a special day, I wanted to share with you a short story by our favorite author. I share it because I see his heart and mine in the hands of the writer. And I see these letters as a bridge between me and him. Thank you. Thank you, Dad, for making me smart. Thank you for making me kind. Thank you for teaching me how to love. I hope you like it. The story is called The Gospel According to Mark, and it's by my father's and mine favorite author, Jorge Luis Borges. And it goes like this. This event took place at La Colorada Ranch in the southern part of township of Junín during the last days of March 1928. The protagonist was a medical student named Baltasar Espinosa. We might describe him for now as one of the common run of young men from Buenos Aires, with nothing more noteworthy about him than an almost unlimited kindness and capacity for public speaking, which I obviously don't have. He did not like arguing and preferred having his listener rather than himself in the right. Although he was fascinated by the probabilities of chance in any game he played, he was a bad player because it gave him no pleasure to win. His wide intelligence was undirected. At the age of 33, he still had not qualified for graduation in the subject of which he was most drawn. When his cousin Daniel invited him to spend the summer month at La Colorada, he said yes at once, not because he was fond of the country, but because it was easier to say yes than to dream up a reason for saying no. The ranch main house was a big and slightly run down. The quarters of the foreman, whose name was Guthrie, were close by. The Guthries were three: the father, an unusually uncouth son, and a daughter of uncertain paternity. They were tall, strong, and bony, and had a hair that was on the reddish side of faces. They were barely articulate. The foreman's wife had died years before. In the country, Espinosa began learning things he never knew, or even suspected. For example, that you not gallop a horse when approaching settlements, and you never go out riding except for some special purpose. After a few days, Daniel had to leave from Buenos Aires to close a deal on some cattle. At most, this bit of business may take him a week. Espinosa, who was already somewhat wary of hearing about his cousin's incessant luck with women and his tireless interest in the minute details of men's fashion, preferred staying on the ranch with his textbooks. But the heat was unbearable, and even the nights brought no relief. One morning at daybreak, thunder woke him. Outside, the wind was rocking the Austrian spine. Listening to the first heavy drop of rain, Espinosa thanked God. All at once, cold air rolled in. That afternoon, the Salado overflowed its banks. The rain did not let up. The Guthries helped hinder Espinosa. The town dweller rescued a good part of the livestock, but many animals were drowned. There were 4 roads leading to La Colorada. All of them were underwater. On the third day, when a leak threatened the foreman's house, Espinosa gave the Guthries a room near the tool shed at the back of the main house. This drew them closer. They ate together in the big dining room. Conversation turned out to be difficult. The Guthries, who knew so much about country things, were hard to put into explaining. Espinosa recalls his father saying that almost every case of longevity was cited in the country was really a case of bad memory or a dim-down notion of dates. Gauchos are apt to be ignorant of the year of their birth or of the name of the man that begot them. In the whole house, there was apparently no other reading matter than a set of farm journal, a handbook of veterinary medicine, and a deluxe edition of the Uruguayan epic Tabaré, a history short on cattle in Argentina, a number of erotic detective stories, and a recent novel called Don Segundo Sombra. Espinosa, trying in some way to bridge the inevitable after-dinner gap, read a couple of chapters of his novel to the Guthries, none of whom could read or write. Espinosa, who had grown a beard, began dialing in front of the mirror to study his new face, and smiled to think how, back in Buenos Aires, he would bore his friends by telling the story of the Salado flood. Strangely enough, he missed places he never frequented and never would. A corner of Cabrera Street on which there was a mailbox, one of the 7 lines of the Guayco de Jujuy Street, a few blocks from the Plaza de Once, and a ballroom with a tall 3rd floor whose exact whereabouts he wasn't sure of. Exploring the house, still hemmed in by the waterways, Espinosa came across an English Bible. Among the bound pages at the end, the Guthries, which was their original name, had left a handwritten record of their lineage. There were narrative of Inverness, how they reached out the New World, no doubt as common laborers in the early part of the 19th century, and had intermarried with Indians. The chronicle broke off some during the 1870s, where they had no longer knew how to write. After a few generations, they had forgotten English. Their Spanish, at the time Espinosa knew them, gave them trouble. Leafing through the volume, his finger opened at the beginning of the Gospel according to St. Mark. As an exercise in translation, and maybe to find whether Gatris understood any of it, Espinosa decided to begin reading them that text over their evening meal. It surprised him, and they listened attentively, absorbed. Maybe the gold letters on the cover of the Land Book Authority is still there in their blood, Espinosa thought. It also occurred to him that generations of men through recorded times have always told and retold two stories. That of a lost sheep with searches on the Mediterranean seas for a dearly loved island, and that of a God who is crucified in Golgotha. Remembering his lessons in elocution from his school days in Ramos Mejia, Espinosa got his feet when he came to the parables. The Gatris took him bolting their barbecued meat and their sadness, and somewhat delayed the gospel. Now, the owner of the place away, Espinosa took over and gave the timid orders, which were immediately obeyed. The Gatris, as if lost without him, liked following him from room to room and along the gallery that ran around the house, and around the gallery that ran around the house. While he read to them, he noticed that they were secretly stealing the crumbs he had dropped on the table. One evening, he caught them unawares, talking about him respectfully in very few words. Having finished the Gospel according to St. Mark, he wanted to read another of the three Gospels that remained, but the Father asked him to repeat the one he just read, so that they will understand it better. That night, this is not to be wondered at, he dreamed of the flood. The hammer blows of the building of the ark woke him up, and he thought that perhaps they were thunder. In fact, the rain, which had let up, started again. The cold was bitter. The Gatris had told him that the storm had damaged the roof of the tool shed, and that it would show him in when the beams were fixed. No longer a stranger now, he was treated by them with special attention, almost to the point of spoiling him. None of them liked coffee, but for him there was always a small cup into which they heaped sugar. The new storm had broken out on Tuesday. Thursday night, Espinosa was awakened by a soft knock on his door, which, just in case, he always kept locked. He got out of bed and opened it. There was the girl. In the dark, he could hardly make her out. But by her footstep, he could tell she was barefoot, and moments later in bed. And she must have come all the way from the other end of the house naked. She did not embrace him or speak a single word. She lay beside him, trembling. It was the first time she had known a man. When she left, she did not kiss him. Espinosa realized that he didn't even know her name. For some reason that he did not know, that he didn't want to pry into, he made his mind that upon returning to Buenos Aires, he will tell no one about what had taken place. The next day began like the previous one, except that the Father spoke to Espinosa and asked him if Christ had let himself be killed as to save all other men on earth. Espinosa, who was a free thinker but who felt committed to what he had read in the Gatris, answered yes, to save everyone from hell. Gatris then asked, what is hell? A place under the ground when souls burned and burned, and the Roman soldiers who hammered the nails, were they saved too? Yes, said Espinosa, whose theology was rather dim. All alone, he was afraid that the foreman might ask him about what had gone on the night before with his daughter. After lunch, they asked him to read the last chapter over again. Espinosa slept a long nap that afternoon. It was a light sleep, disturbed by persistent hammering and vague premonitions. Towards evening, he got up and went out on the gallery. He said, after thinking out loud, the water have dropped. It won't be long now. It won't be long now, Guthrie repeated like an echo. The three had been following him, bowing their knees to the stone pavement, then asked his blessing. Then they mocked at him, spat on him, and shouting towards the back part of the house. The girl wept. Espinosa understood by awaiting him on the other side of the floor. When they opened it, he saw a patch of sky. A bird sang out. A goldfinch, he thought. The shed was without a roof. They had pulled down the beams to make the cross. Thank you, Father. Thank you all for your time. I thank you very much.
All right, very meaningful. Thank you. Ezequiel. Let's see if you guys can mute whoever's not talking. So next, we'll go on with David Salvetti. David, you're a true gentleman. You really have held the flag very high and proud of the University of Pittsburgh in our department throughout the time that you've been here. You've really mastered as a surgeon and as kind of a. You and I joked a little bit. Too bad that you were going to do spine because you're really a phenomenal brain surgeon, and that really is kudos to your training and to how careful you are. You care about your patients in an amazing way. You're a meticulous surgeon, and you'll be able to do whatever you put your mind to it. It's been really a pleasure having you over these past 7 years. You'll be missed. You're not going to be too far away, so hopefully you'll stop by every once in a while and maybe turn right or left from West Virginia, between Virginia and coming back and visit us. I remember a lot of the cases that we did together. You did really phenomenally well. So congratulations, and I really look forward to see all the great things that you will be doing. I'd like to invite Nitin Agarwal to say a few words about David.
Dr. Salvetti. Well, my name is Nitin Agarwal, former servant to Salvetti, 6 years in a row. Salvetti, it's a true honor on behalf of all of us to say goodbye to you. And I just want to give you the Salvetti that I know. Salvetti is a mastermind of care. I was a PGY4. And I was on night float, and Salvetti would tell me in the morning, sign out to yourself, in the evening, sign out to yourself. And I think that Salvetti basically gave me devotion to patients. He taught me how to care for patients. But the parts of him that you don't know is what a mastermind he was in the OR. During his 5th and 6th year, he spent 21 dedicated months to minimally invasive and complex spine, perfecting the 1-level LAMI, plus or minus intradural exploration. He's still getting the hand of it, adding CSF. Jesus, Salvetti, I didn't know you were here. Don't worry, Salvo. For all your C2 to T2 needs, I'm just one call away from you. Salvo did invent some things during all those years. He invented the self-irrigating Malus bipolar, just add CSF. The Salvetti OR12 gel roll, you just add CSF. He added to us the Salvetti bone blaster. All you need to do is just add CSF. But most of all, Salvetti, I want to know that Catherine, you deserve all the credit for everything he's taught us, the best parts of him, his diligence, his work ethic, his selfless devotion to patients. The list goes on and on. Catherine, thank you for sharing your husband with all of us all of these years. He's been a great role model and a friend. He's truly lucky to have you, and I want to tell both of you congratulations.
All right, David, take it away.
Nitin, thank you for that. I think at your speech, it's definitely, instead of just add CSF, it's just going to be just add excessive blood loss. So there will be payback at some point. I just want to start by thanking everyone for being on here. A few folks traveled as far as across the house, so I appreciate the commitment. As strange as it is not being able to swill some limoncello with you all in person, it's also fitting to be giving this talk from Virginia as a symbol of our moving on in life. Many of you know this, but when we first moved to Pittsburgh, Catherine wasn't exactly thrilled. We actually put Pitt first on the match list because we both thought it was a reach and wouldn't actually happen. But on the weekend that we moved to Pittsburgh, the tunnel was closed, and Catherine got very lost trying to find her way to our house. And she ended up meandering her way to the Shenley Park overlook after accidentally hitting a curb. She had a little moment, and it wasn't exactly the best start to our new life in Pittsburgh. But as it turns out, last Friday, she made her last drive from Virginia back to Pittsburgh, and 376 was also closed. So it was a fitting ending. But this time things went a little smoother, and within 10 minutes after she told me, she was at our house. We're going to miss Pittsburgh. A lot's happened since 2013. It's where we were engaged with fresh flowers from our backyard. Someone later informed me that those flowers were weeds, but I was proud of myself. Pittsburgh is where I learned that giving your wife car mats for her birthday isn't the best idea. It's also where I learned that falling asleep at Butcher in the Rye during our anniversary also isn't okay. Despite Catherine's better judgment, she still married me, and we had our wonderful little guy, Evan. Catherine, you've sacrificed just as much as I have to be here. I thank you for the unwavering support. I thank you for being my engineering sugar mama. I thank you for taking care of our beautiful son and neurotic dog, and I thank you for taking care of me. I hope that during this next phase of our life, I get to do a little more taking care of you. To my parents, as well as my in-laws, now that we're parents ourselves, I look at you all through a little different lens. I understand the constant debate about doing the right thing for your kids. You guys are responsible for instilling in me the prerequisite, totally pathologic sense of commitment, neuroticism, and work ethic necessary to be here. I don't actually know whether to thank you for that, but thank you. You guys gave me the tools to stay grounded. Perhaps the best gift of all was the ability to step back and laugh at myself. I can't thank you enough for 3 decades of support. As for the faculty, thank you for taking the chance on me. I always have and continue to feel that I snuck into Pittsburgh by good fortune more than merit. The further into residency you get, the more you realize the immense patience necessary to allow us to function as a training program. I know that I don't have the same patience, and I'm forever grateful for it. Lastly, to my co-chiefs and co-residents, I don't think there's much I can say tonight that the past 7 years, for good or bad, haven't already said. My sincere hope from this point forward is that you know my phone is still going to be on, all day, every day. Now that we live in the country, our door will also be open. I can't wait to see what you all accomplish, and please stay in touch. Finally, in the words of my PGY2 chief, Paul Richard, good luck.
Really great, and we didn't take any chances on you. You're a sure bet. Next, Ben Susman with a Z. I guess you're used to being last in many things, but it's you're a special person. I knew that when first met you, and you entered our residency. You're a caring individual, a family individual. You saw what your peers think about you with a teaching award as an example, and you're going to be able to do lots of things. What you just need to make sure to do is to figure out what it is that you want to do, what your compass is, where do you want to go, and pleasure having you as one of our residents, and we're very, very proud of you. So I want to invite next Dan Tonetti, who's going to say a few words about you. Dan?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Dr. Friedlander?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hope you can see me too. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dan Tonetti. I'm a 6th-year resident at the University of Pittsburgh. Tonight, I have the honor of representing the residents in a toast of Benjamin Zussman. Ben is someone I've personally looked up to for years. I've had the good fortune of being Ben's junior fellow within the Neuroendovascular Fellowship here at UPMC, forming a particularly close relationship with Ben. And as such, when Ben asked me to represent our residents and to give these opening remarks tonight, I couldn't help but feel proud. It seems like every time I've had a rough day throughout these past 6 years, Ben has been there to remind me that the goal is to graduate. I'm not sure how much I owe him in counseling fees, but he has served as my personal therapist for 6 years. During his time in Pittsburgh, Ben is and has been a productive member of our residency, as Dr. Friedlander outlined. In his junior residency years, he assisted in the development of the TRACK system, now used widely within our healthcare system to communicate sign-out between physician teams. He revitalized the microneurosurgery laboratory on the 9th floor of Steve Hall to practice microneurosurgical technique, a setup that is available for the benefit of all neurosurgical residents. And as a senior resident, he completed the Neuroendovascular Surgery Fellowship, electing to participate in the demanding endovascular call pool during his PGY5 and PGY6 years to learn a supplementary skill set for the benefit of his future patients. He helped propel our neuroendovascular team to the forefront of the endovascular world with his work to implement, develop, and contemporize our practice with transradial cerebral angiography. He has developed a popular educational website devoted to endovascular cases. At the same time, he took classes at night to earn a mini MBA from the Catt School of Business here at the University of Pittsburgh. Moreover, he accomplishes these things while raising a family. He has tremendous support from his amazing wife, Amanda, and 4 wonderful children, Asher, Jonah, Ozzy, and Sadie Rose. That he could achieve so much professionally while simultaneously raising a family speaks directly to how special Amanda truly is. For all of Ben's tremendous accomplishments, his legacy at UPMC will be his dedication to the training of junior residents, his never-ending positivity, and his practical approach to clinical problem solving. Ben has an unmatched ability to communicate and to see eye to eye with any person, patient, or coworker, character traits we should all emulate. His sense of right and wrong and his sense of direction are unparalleled. Ben is a critical thinker with an analytical, pragmatic mind. He is a man of integrity, compassion, and empathy. Ben has a way of finding a lesson in every situation and is wise beyond his years. As he has reminded me hundreds of times before during our counseling sessions, the goal is to graduate. Tonight, Ben, you accomplished that long-standing goal. As you move to the next stage in Atlanta, I wish you nothing but continued success. I will miss you, and the residency will miss you. Congratulations, Ben.
Well done, Dan. Okay, Ben, take it away.
Thank you, Danny, for the kind words. I'm going to miss you a lot too. And for those nice words, I'll refund for all the counseling sessions. Dr. Friedlander, Dr. Lunsford, Dr. Sakula, neurosurgery faculty, fellow graduates, co-trainees, friends, and family, thank you for this opportunity to share a few parting thoughts. When I got home this Friday evening, after my very last day of residency, my 4-year-old daughter ran up to me to greet me, and she gave me a big hug, and she told me proudly, "Congratulations, Dad. Now you never have to be on call again." Her sentiment was spot on. Today we celebrate the end of a very long chapter, but we are also turning the page to a new and exciting passage into a life of service, call coverage included. My dream to become a neurosurgeon began as a teenager when I had the opportunity to scrub into general neurosurgery cases with a very close family friend, Dr. Michael Sugarman. And my interest in vascular neurosurgery was sparked by the death of my maternal grandfather, who died of a ruptured posterior circulation intracranial aneurysm. I was born in Pittsburgh while my mother was finishing her pediatrics residency at Pitt. And returning here for residency was a unique opportunity for me to follow in her footsteps. My training at Pitt included a general neurosurgery residency and an endovascular fellowship. It has been a very busy clinical experience. I helped perform over 3,000 total cases, and it has been an academically productive time. The training has been good, hard work. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the help of others. To my co-trainees, you are an amazing and talented group of people. It has been an honor to work with and learn from you all. Remember that neurosurgery residency is a team sport. Be strict with yourself, but give one another a pass from time to time. Pay it forward and mentor those who follow you. To my fellow graduates, Amir, Dave, and Easy, what an arduous journey this was. I'm thankful that we are exiting this foxhole together, more or less intact. I wish you only success and hope that we will remain friends in the future. Also, congratulations to your families who have all sacrificed so much to reach this day. To my faculty mentors, past and present, thank you for trusting me with the uniquely precious gift of letting me operate on your patients. This trust is something I have never taken lightly. The large number of faculty at Pitt meant that I was exposed to many different doctoring styles and surgical philosophies, and I have tried to take pearls from each of you that I will incorporate into my own practice. Several faculty members have had a major impact on my development. Thank you, Dr. Balzer, Dr. Gersten, Dr. Gross, Dr. Lunsford, Dr. Okonkwo, Dr. Sakula, and Dr. Wecht. Several faculty who are no longer operating here deserve this recognition as well. Thank you, Dr. Abla, Dr. Eng, Dr. Jadhav, Dr. Jenkowitz, Dr. Joven, Dr. Maroon, and now Dr. Monaco. And finally, although she is not a faculty member per se, thank you to Melissa Lukart, who has consistently supported me and helped me to succeed personally and professionally these past 7 years. It takes a village of people to reach this milestone, and I want to acknowledge several people participating in the call. My brother and sister-in-law, David and Rachel Zussman, my sister, Sarah Zussman, and her fiance, Cody, and my dear friends, Rob and Mayan Latin, for their love and support. To my wife's parents, Wendy and Michael Sternberg, thank you for making a military-like commitment to keeping our family afloat throughout medical school and residency. You have made tremendous sacrifices for our family collectively, but also for me personally. And I am so grateful to you for believing in and protecting my dream and mission. We could not have reached this day without you. To my parents, Mom, your example of what it means to care for others is probably the reason I went into medicine in the first place. And even though you begged me to consider a path that would be less taxing on my family than neurosurgery, we both know how much you enjoy hearing about the incredible pathology and surgeries I'm a part of every day. Dad, you are my role model for good hard work and for using careful analytical thinking to solve problems. You both have made innumerable sacrifices to support our family, including most recently becoming full-time homeschool faculty for our 2nd and 3rd grade kids. I love you very much. To my incredible kids, Asher, Jonah, Ozzy, and Sadie Rose, Amanda and I made a strategic choice early on that we would prioritize the quality of home time more than the quantity of it. That being said, even though I have tried to be fully present when at home, there were many times that my commitment to training kept me away. My kids have been remarkably forgiving of me. Despite being asked at a very young age to be mature about their dad's bizarre schedule, they have risen above the challenge, and they actually ask me how the case went or how a patient is doing when I get home. We will not squander the opportunity to spend time together when I have a bit more control over my schedule moving forward. To my wife, Amanda, you are incredible. Somehow, you have managed to keep our family together, run our household, work a full-time job, and still love and support me. Your patience with a spouse who is by definition not reliable and can be called away at any moment and leave for hours at a time is a testament to your inner strength and resilience. Together as a team, we have navigated and overcome many challenges, and we have been awaiting this moment for a very, very long time. I love you, and I'm excited to see you get to focus a bit on your own self-care moving forward. Finally, I'd like to thank the Almighty for giving me the good health, energy, focus, and strength to keep it all together and reach this milestone. Not everyone does. The skills and knowledge I've gained through this process will be put to good use. As we move on to the next stage, I'm excited to bring all of my training to bear and will be practicing open and endovascular neurosurgery, general neurosurgery, and spine surgery. Neurosurgery matters. Ours was an essential service well before the term became popularized. Although we will miss Pittsburgh, our family is so excited for a new adventure in a new city, and I'm proud to be joining several fellow Pitt graduates in my practice. I'm confident that my training here has prepared me for this challenge. It has been an absolute honor. Farewell.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the four of you for really an amazing job. You've done terrific in terms of everything from being a role model to being a family member, as we've heard, to being a teacher, and so on and so forth. What you've done has been amazing. I'm sorry that the graduation is what it is, but there has also been some positive things that we've been able to really include additional family members as well as children, which we usually don't have at graduation. So we always, the way I like to think is if your glass is half empty, just fill it. And that's exactly what we did today in terms of really developing this. I thought I saw Kojo maybe raising his hand. Is that the case, Kojo? Or somebody did. KH, I assume it's Kojo. Maybe not. So if again, I really want to congratulate you all. I speak for myself as well as I know from all of our faculty. We are incredibly proud of you. You're going to do amazing things for yourselves, for your families, and very importantly for all of your patients. It's been amazing getting to know all of you. Look forward to keeping in touch and seeing what you will do with your career moving forward. This year has been an unusual year for many reasons, and obviously we're glad that at least we're able to do a fraction of the honor that I wanted to provide the four of you, given everything that you've accomplished. So again, congratulations. Wish you the best. Congratulations to all the families that are on. Stay in touch. Be a role model to the residents to come. I know they'll be reaching out to you. And Pittsburgh is always a home for you. We look forward to seeing you. So again, congratulations. I don't have a glass of wine, but I'd like to raise a glass and a toast for all of you. So people, everybody get off mute and make some noise. Make some noise. Yeah.